Hi beauties, so today we're going to be doing my monthly favorites. I'm just going to go over all the products like every month that I really enjoyed this month that actually, I got a lot of use out of. And then I'm also going to include a few things that didn't really work for me as well as I wanted them to. Also, excuse my messy bun. I kind of do enjoy this look because it's super quick. My hair did not want to cooperate with me today. Alright, so let's jump into all the monthly beauty favorites. I do have quite a bit of products and a lot of them are lip related, so I'm gonna go over those. But before that, one thing that really actually was beneficial for me and I really enjoyed is a drugstore face primer, which is this NYX No Filter primer. And I really love this primer. I feel like it has the perfect balance between hydration and pore filling and not really slimy, not too tacky. Like, I feel like it's a great kind of overall well-balanced primer. I did an actual drugstore primer testing, so I'll link that below, but this is definitely one of my favorites. It's almost gone. I've been using it almost every single time I do my makeup, and I really do like it because prior to this one, I haven't been using a lot of like drugstore face primers. So I am super glad I found this one and I would really highly recommend it. Next thing I have here is also from the drugstore. It's another one of those things where I grabbed a bunch of different drugstore brand products and did testing. And this is the Loreal brow pencil. If you're into like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Wiz pencil or any kind of micro pencil, this is absolutely phenomenal. I love the formula. It's not too waxy, but it's not too soft. It's not really brittle, so it won't break on you. And it's just a perfect little micro brow pencil. They have them in different shades, and I really enjoyed this formula. It's one of my favorites from the drugstore. And this is another thing that I've been using pretty much non-stop over my Goof Proof brow pencil from Benefit. So I really wanted to include this in this video. Alright, next thing, moving on, I'm going to talk about a lot of lip products. I have a few higher end lip products that I have been really enjoying and really liking this month. First thing I'm going to mention are these liquid lipsticks by Lipstick Queen. These are absolutely amazing formula, really comfortable. They don't dry down completely matte, but they're really comfortable on the lips. These actually remind me of the NARS Lip Glides, like the formula wise. So I would advise you guys to check these out. If you're into the NARS Liquid Lip Glides, these are a very similar formula, except the fact that the NARS are like $26 and these are about $20. So the ones I have are in the shade So Long, which is this really nice pink one, and Sia, which is this more nude one. And I feel like these are perfect for the spring and summer. They're really comfortable, so they're not going to dry out. And they're really pigmented, really beautiful shades. This is the So Long, and this other one is in the shade Sia. And they're just really beautiful colors. They are really comfortable. They are pretty long lasting. They're not transfer proof because they don't dry down completely matte, but I've been actually loving these, especially the color Sia as a perfect nude. This next thing I'm going to mention has amazing formula, an amazing color and shade, great pigmentation. The only negative I have with it is the actual packaging because I'm not like a huge lip crayon person unless they are like automatic. So this is the NARS Lip Crayon in the shade Bahama, and I love this shade. This is such a beautiful Your Lips But Better type of shade. It's actually, this formula is really velvety and it reminds me of the Wet n Wild lip velvets from the drugstore. I love this shade. I love this formula, and the only negative thing I have is that it's not automatic, so you do have to sharpen them, and that's actually like a hassle for me. I hate having to sharpen pencils or lip crayons, so I wish these would be automatic. But besides that, the texture, the formula, and the shade in the shade Bahama is amazing. I feel like it's Your Lips But Better type of shade, and I've been using it quite a bit this month. The next lipstick I have is from Too Faced. It's their matte formula in the shade Rebel Heart. This is one of the darker shades I was wearing this month, and it's a beautiful, just red, typical type of red, but it's a matte formula, but it's still comfortable on the lips. And before this month, I haven't really experimented with a lot of the regular lipsticks. I do love their melted liquid lipsticks, but the regular ones I haven't really played around with. So I purchased the matte one and 2 regular ones, and I really do enjoy this matte formula just because it is really hydrating, but it's still really beautiful. And this is one of the shades I really enjoyed. So Rebel Heart was one of the darker colors I was wearing this month. And I have already been transitioning to like lighter colors and lighter lipsticks and lighter eyeshadows. So that's why I've been so into like nudes and lighter shades. Now this last lipstick I have is from also Lipstick Queen. This is the collection that they just recently came out with. And this is one of their collections that they came out with that they named every shade that they have after like a different chess piece, which is, in my opinion, super creative and fun. And I have about 4 of these that I bought in different shades. Most of them in their collection are dark, but this one is one of the lightest ones in the shade Pawn, and I've been using it almost on like a day-to-day basis. You can see how much I've used up. I love this shade. It's just such a beautiful nude. I've been just literally slapping this on and just leaving with almost no makeup on. And this formula is super hydrating, so I've been just in love with this shade. It's really similar to the actual Bahama and NARS, but in a lipstick form. So I just love this shade. If I had to recommend one shade from this collection, it'd be Pawn, because it's one of my favorites that I've been literally using like every other day. Now, moving on, I am actually going to have 2 repeats from last month, I believe, just because these 2 products are still some of my favorites and I'm still using like consecutively. The first thing is this NARS Concealer. I talked about this in my last month's favorites, and I'm gonna talk about it again just because of the formula. Like, all this month, I have not even touched another concealer but this one. And what's so convenient about this is what I do is I usually take my sponge or my beauty sponge and I just like dip it in there, and then I just apply it on my dark circles, anywhere I need extra coverage. The formula is amazing. I feel like it's hydrating enough for the under eye without it being too creasy, and I just absolutely love this. This is in the shade Vanilla, and I'm almost out of it, so I'm gonna have to go and purchase another one soon. But I have been just loving this one even more than their actual liquid concealer, and I've been just using it all over the face. I have it on today. I've been using it literally every time I do my makeup, and so that's why I had to mention it in this video again, just because I've gotten so much good use out of this that I just wanted to re-mention it again. And then the next thing is also something that like everyone raves about, but for good reason. I did mention these in the last month's video, and these are the Stilla Magnificent Glitters, liquid glitters. And I just love these. Every time I actually go out, I slap one of these on. And I usually either do all over the lid, or I will just do in the center of the lid, or you can even use it as like a bottom liner or inner corner highlight. I just love these. Like, the formula is great. I wish they weren't as expensive as they are, but these are just beautiful. Like, they are so pigmented, so reflective, so nice. Like, look at that. So effortless. Like, they're not really patchy. They're really easy to apply because you have the applicator on, and I just love these. If you're someone that loves to go out and throw a little bit of glitter on your eyeballs, these are just beautiful. And my 2 favorite shades from their collection is Kitten Karma and Smoldering Satin. These 2 are my favorite just because they're most reflective in my opinion and kind of show up the most. But look at that. That's like literally like metal type tin foil on your eyes when you're going out with the reflection of the light. It's just beautiful. They're stunning. Like I said, I wish they weren't as pricey as they are, but I just love these, so I had to bring them up again. My next March favorite is this super awesome, super bright, super vibrant blush from MILANI in the shade Coral Cove. This is a powder blush that's matte in the shade 05, and it's funny because I don't know if it's going to show on camera, but usually you would not really go for a vibrant, crazy color like this, but this shade is absolutely stunning. It does not transfer like this on the skin because I do have it on today, and to let you guys in on a little secret, I actually have this blush as my eyeshadow and a topper on my lip. So I just took it and I just kind of patted it down just to give my lips a little bit of color. And I absolutely love this. And I also use this as eyeshadow. So I put this all over my crease, all over the eyelid. Actually, with my finger, I just went and took it, spread it all over. Then I just added a little bit of shimmer in like the inner parts of my eye, and I was done. And that's the look for today. So you know how ColourPop has that monochromatic theme throughout some of their new collections that they released? One blush is gonna have the same kind of outlook because I used it on my cheeks, I used it as eyeshadow, and I tapped it all over my lips just to give that, you know, one kind of toned makeup look, and I absolutely love this. And this formula is just so great because it is matte, and I love matte blushes, and the fact that I can use it all over, like, so it's buildable as eyeshadow. You can definitely like pat it on and build it on, or you can just do it gently and you'll have that pretty blush. And I just love it. It's pigmented, it's really nicely blendable, and I just absolutely love the shade. In the shade Color Cove. I don't know why more people don't love it and don't talk about it. They're probably too afraid to even purchase it because it is such a vibrant color. Like, I'll show you guys the difference just so you guys can see another MILANI blush I have, what the actual like shade difference is. So this is one of Tea Rose, so it's more of like a regular pink, and this is like a neon coral, but it translates onto your skin and onto your face so beautifully. I absolutely love it. You know, everyone talks about like the Luminoso and all their baked blushes, but this one is just absolutely phenomenal, and I feel like a lot of people are going to start talking about this shade in particular, especially now for the spring and summer. Next thing I'm going to talk about are eyeshadow palettes. So I've been playing around with 3 different eyeshadow palettes this month. One is from the drugstore, which was like $16.99. One is from Lorac, which was $30. And then the Stilla one was, I believe, in like the $40 range. And out of these 3 palettes, I really do enjoy NYX eyeshadows. I feel like NYX eyeshadow palettes are some of my favorites from the drugstore, period. You know, not including individual like shadows from Loreal or Maybelline or the actual eyeshadow tattoos. I feel like NYX makes my favorite drugstore eyeshadows because they're super pigmented, they're super colorful, and I really do enjoy and have used this palette this month pretty often, and I do really enjoy it. I also do enjoy the California Dreaming palette. I feel like the formula on these is super creamy, super buttery, super pigmented, and I really do feel like this is a pretty versatile palette. And in comparison to the Stilla one, which is the Metal Matte palette, this is definitely more of like a neutral palette that I also do really enjoy. But in all honesty, if I had to pick between these 2 palettes, taking into consideration like which formula is slightly better and which one has a little bit more of a versatile capability for looks, I would choose the California Dreaming palette. It is slightly on the less expensive side, and I feel like you'd be able to get a few more looks with this palette. So I do prefer the California Dreaming over the Stilla one. And if you want like a drugstore substitute, I feel like this Avant Pop palette is absolutely stunning. It has great colors, great pigmentation, and a really nice variety for all your neutral looks and for like darker, smokier ones. It has this really nice light periwinkle blue that you can use as a pop of color for the spring. And I just really like this palette, even though it is pretty pricey as like a drugstore brand. But like I said, the NYX palettes are some of my favorite in the shadow formula, so I would definitely give it 2 thumbs up. Now, last thing that I did really enjoy this month before we move on to like the things that weren't so great is this NARS highlighting palette, and they just actually came out with the NARS eyeshadow palette, which I cannot wait to get my hands on. I'm gonna definitely like do some swatching for you guys in a review, but this highlighting palette is really nice as well. I feel like they're pretty creamy, they're really reflective, and you have a really nice variety of different actual tones. So this palette would work on a lot of different skin tones, and I really like the formula. And with the actual highlights that you can't really use for your skin tone, you can definitely use as eyeshadows. So I did really enjoy this palette, and so that's why I included it in this month's favorites. Now, my next 3 items I believe that I have been quite a disappointment in my opinion. And if these things worked out for you guys, I'm really happy for you. I'm glad they worked out. This is just my personal preference and opinion, and these things were not as great as I wanted them to be. First thing is from Soap and Glory, and it's this Pillow Plump lip gloss. It's actually funny because like I bought this because Tati talked about it and used it in one of her videos, and I was really looking forward to it. And this is like a tinted lip gloss that, you know, is supposed to make your lips bigger, and it definitely does something, but I really dislike the way this feels on my lips. It's not like a regular kind of, you know, makes your lips bigger, plumper, like, you know, the Too Faced injection lip plumpers, or what else can I compare to this? Or like the Lip Venom. This has a really distinct, different type of tingling where, you know, like if you go to the dentist and you have anesthetics injected in your gums, and then like that feeling kind of wears off and you have that like slight tingly sensation, that's what it feels like on your lips. And I personally did not enjoy it, so I'm not even going to be using this, just because I've been testing out like different lip plumpers and I do enjoy other ones versus this one. And so, I don't know, it just didn't really work out for me. Next thing I'm going to talk about is this EcoTools sponge. And it's funny because this one came actually in a little set with the green one, and I love this bigger green one. It's really soft when dampened. It blends and mixes your makeup beautifully. It's really soft, really nice. Just like a regular beauty blender sponge, it's wonderful. I do really love it. I love the shape, I love the angles, and it's just wonderful. This yellow one, on the other hand, that came with the green one, is so much harder when dampened. It's not the same texture or consistency as the green one. And unless you're only doing like baking with this sponge, I had a really hard time blending my makeup because it is so much tougher and harder in actual like texture. So I really did not like this little one. So if you guys can get these separate, which I don't know if you can, I would definitely go for the bigger green one from EcoTools compared to like their mini ones. Now the last thing I'm going to mention and talk about is a face spray that I actually tried 2 varieties of, and it's not bad. It's not anything that disappointed me. I just tried 2 of their kinds and I do prefer one over the other. So it's this Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water. And then you have the one with cucumber and green tea. And I used this one up already, but I bought this green one with green tea and cucumber. And I prefer the cucumber green tea one over the rose water one, just because it smells nicer. It doesn't have that rosy scent. And I just really like this one better than this one. So if you guys didn't know which one to decide, I would recommend you try out the green one first and see if you like it. Or you can even test it in store. But I do prefer the green one over the pink one. And I wish the sprayer was a little bit better, just because it's not like a super fine mist. But the product itself, I do like the green cucumber one versus the herb and rose water one. Alright you guys, so that'd be it. That was a lot of product to be talked about this month, but those are some of my favorites and some of my not so favorites for this month. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what some of your favorites were for this month in the comments below. I'm always eager to, you know, check out what you guys think, and I do read every single comment. I might not reply to every single comment, but I do read them all. I do enjoy and appreciate all your guys' feedback. So do let me know what some of your favorite beauty products were for this month. If you guys enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, SuperLady246. And thank you guys for joining me today. Lots of love from me to you, and I will see you guys soon. Bye! Mwah.